There are some questions men have been quietly asking since the beginning of time. Who's faster? Who's stronger? And, of course, who's bigger? It's one of those topics nobody admits to caring about openly, yet almost every man has secretly Googled it at least once. Today, we're tackling one of the oldest debates on the internet. When it comes to size, who actually comes out on top, America or Saudi Arabia? It might sound like a setup for a comedy sketch, but this is real science, backed by real data. Before anyone jumps to conclusions or makes assumptions, let's take a step back and look at the facts. The human body is a fascinating mix of mystery, pride, and insecurity. Men often like to believe that somewhere out there exists a country of genetic lottery winners, a place where everyone is naturally blessed. But science has a funny way of busting myths, and this story is no exception. For years, colorful maps claiming to show average sizes by country have gone viral online. They're eye-catching, easy to click, and wildly unreliable. Most of these maps rely on self-reported data, which is a polite way of saying, we asked people and hoped they were honest. When it comes to sensitive topics like this, honesty is tricky. A ruler in a self-report survey can feel more imaginary than real. That's why proper medical research matters. You can't just hand out tape measures and call it science. Real studies take a different approach. They rely on standardized methods, clinical settings, controlled conditions, and sometimes brave volunteers willing to be measured in the name of research. Because yes, to get accurate numbers, you need participants who are ready to stand tall and take one for the team. So how exactly do scientists measure something so personal? There are three main approaches: flaccid, stretched, and erect. The flaccid method is the least reliable because factors like temperature or nerves can shrink results faster than bad news on a first date. The stretched method provides a better estimate, while the erect measurement is considered the gold standard. The challenge is that not every man is eager to get measured in front of a doctor holding a clipboard. Different studies handle this in different ways. Some rely on self-measurement with clear instructions, while others go full clinical, with medical professionals handling every step. These methodological differences explain why results can vary so much between countries. In the United States, one of the largest and most detailed studies came from Indiana University. Over 1,000 men participated, following meticulous instructions to measure themselves at home. The rules were clear: full erection, measure from base to tip, no exaggeration, no shortcuts. This wasn't about bragging rights, it was about honest data. In Saudi Arabia, the approach was slightly different, but equally precise. Hundreds of men volunteered to be measured in a clinical setting, with trained doctors overseeing the process. There were no camera angles, no flattering lighting, and no Photoshop. Just consistent, verified clinical measurements. This contrast is fascinating. On one hand, there's a massive American study relying on trust and self-reporting. On the other, a smaller but tightly controlled Saudi study emphasizing transparency. Both methods tell us something important about science. It's about turning rumors and assumptions into reliable data. It's also important to remember that humans are remarkably similar across the globe. The average male anatomy falls within a fairly consistent range. Evolution doesn't favor one country over another. We all share the same genetic toolkit, with minor variations shaped by environment, diet, and lifestyle. Despite our imaginations and cultural myths, dramatic differences are rare. What's actually more interesting than size is how lifestyle impacts the way men experience their bodies. Blood flow, fitness, sleep, and even mindset play huge roles in sexual performance. You can't separate biology from behavior, and this is where lifestyle differences between countries come into play. Take the average American man, for instance. Long commutes, office chairs, processed foods, and stress fueled by endless coffee. These are everyday realities. Many men exercise sporadically, but most spend hours sitting. Circulation can suffer, energy levels dip, and overall vitality is affected. Now, consider the average Saudi man dealing with extreme heat, risks of dehydration, and cultural habits that limit outdoor activity. Diets may be high in fat and low in fiber, and vitamin D deficiency is common due to limited sun exposure. Despite these environmental differences, the underlying biology remains largely the same. Lifestyle affects vascular health, which is crucial for male sexual performance. Good circulation keeps the system functioning efficiently, while poor circulation can lead to sluggishness. Testosterone follows a similar pattern. It peaks in early adulthood and gradually declines with age. Poor sleep, chronic stress, and excess body fat can accelerate that decline. So, men in different countries might feel different levels of energy and performance, even if anatomy is identical. Cultural attitudes toward sexual health also differ. In America, sexual health is openly discussed. Billboards, advertisements, and clinics promote pills, therapy, and supplements. In Saudi Arabia, conversations about sexual health are more private, often handled discreetly through doctors. Yet, curiosity and the desire to understand oneself are universal. One thing unites men everywhere: insecurity. Studies show that most men underestimate how average they actually are. Many believe they fall short, even when they're well within the global norm. Women, meanwhile, report that size matters far less than confidence, connection, and chemistry. The irony is hard to miss. Men stress over a metric that rarely impacts satisfaction, while the real determinants of pleasure are often overlooked. Evolution designed the male reproductive system for reliability, not ego. Blood flow, nerve sensitivity, and hormone balance are what truly matter. Performance is less about inches and more about health. Yet, myths persist because bigger is better makes for an irresistible headline. Every generation passes down stories, bravado, and misunderstandings. Science, thankfully, is more measured. Researchers study blood vessels, tissue elasticity, and long-term function. Size is just one data point in a much bigger picture. And that bigger picture shows something remarkable. Men are far more similar than different. Comparing countries can be funny, almost like an adult version of checking who is taller in middle school. It's all pride, humor, and curiosity. But it also opens the door to important conversations about men's health, topics often ignored until problems arise. So, what should we take away from all of this? First, lifestyle matters more than you might think. Exercise, hydration, and foods that support blood flow, like beets and pomegranates, can improve firmness and performance. Sleep and stress management stabilize hormones. No supplement can replace consistent habits. Second, confidence shapes perception. When men feel healthy and in control, they naturally project that confidence, which strengthens relationships and intimacy. Third, international comparisons show how fragile data can be. A small change in measurement technique, temperature, or timing can shift averages by millimeters. After all this context, it's time for the numbers. The American study found an average erect length of just over 14 centimeters. The Saudi study came in almost exactly the same, technically a hair longer, but by less than 2 millimeters. That difference is so tiny even the researchers joked about it. Statistically, the two populations are identical, both falling perfectly within the global average. In the end, it's not about who's bigger, it's about how small the difference really is. Health, energy, and vitality are the real measures of manhood. So yes, America and Saudi Arabia might be neck and neck, separated by less than the width of a pencil line. But the true winner is health itself. When blood flow is strong, confidence is high, and lifestyle is maintained, men everywhere come out on top. Science quietly reminds us it's never been about inches. It's about care, energy, and vitality. No matter where you're from, the takeaway is simple. Move daily, eat real food, manage stress, and prioritize sleep. These choices directly impact the blood vessels that make sexual function possible. Confidence, health, and consistency matter far more than any headline or viral map. Men everywhere share the same biology, and the power to maintain and enhance it is in their hands. After all, the story isn't about who's bigger, it's about who's living better. By focusing on health, men can improve performance, satisfaction, and overall vitality. And maybe, just maybe, that's a story worth telling.